Hi everyone, and welcome to our Facebook Live for this week on Wednesday this week instead of Thursday. So I am going to thank all of you off the bat who are able to join me live here tonight on a different night, and I apologize for the short notice. I will tell you what we have going on here in just a couple of minutes as I come on here for all of you to, let me expand this. There we go. So so as you are coming on, please comment and tell me hello. I know some of you have to watch me on replay, and that is okay. But again, as you're popping on here, comment, tell me hello. We'll get started in just a little bit. Hello, Carol and Philomena. Hi, ladies. So anyway, you had me on a Wednesday tonight instead of a Thursday, and I just want to apologize for the last minute change. I love it. You guys are sharing already. Yay. Hi, Patty and Luann. So here's what's going on as to why I had to reschedule till today. So this weekend, I'm having the last fundraiser for my daughter Claire for her trip to Europe this summer. And Natalie's boyfriend Austin is the understudy in a play on campus at CMU. And so she wants to go and support him and watch the play, and asked if I would go with her. Well, of course, it starts tomorrow. It's tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the only night that worked for her schedule, because she had dance tonight and worked for my schedule, was tomorrow night. And so so that's why I had to change my nights. I'm going to be going to see the play, even though we know we probably won't see Austin in it. We wanted to go and support him. He is just a really good kid. And that is, most of you know, that's Natalie's boyfriend that she's had for a few months now. So, but he's come to all of her things, so we just felt it was right to go and support him as well. So that is why I am live with you guys tonight instead of tomorrow. Like I said, it kind of came up just over the weekend, and I just want to thank you all for making adjustments to be with me live. And if you're watching on the replay, comment replay, let me know. It's all good. That's what they say, right? It's all good as long as you're able to watch at some point. So anyway, a few things I have in the way of announcements. So this last weekend was a very busy day for my daughter Claire. She had her dance competition downstate in the Detroit area, and that was for her varsity dance team, and they got 3rd place out of 8. So that was amazing. They did really, really good on that. And then it was rush home and get her ready for snowball dance. So she had her snowball dance that night. Luckily, she had her dance hair in a bun, and she left that how she had it for snowball, and it looked elegant. I did post pictures on my personal page, but I don't think I did for all of you here, although I know I'm Facebook friends with a good portion of you, but I'll make it a point to post a couple pictures of her so you can see them. She looked absolutely beautiful, and she is not one for dressing up a whole lot. So even for me to see her dressed up the way she was, it kind of took my breath away, because she is not one for dressing up like she did. And the neat thing is, the funny thing is she didn't think she was going to be able to go to Snowball because of the dance competition. And then they found out like 3 weeks ago that their dance competition, their performance time was early in the morning, and that they might be able to make it back in time. So then it was panic mode. I need to find a dress. And so she found that dress. Yes, Carol, wasn't she beautiful? She found that dress online. Literally, it was $70 for that dress, and it was half off. So it was originally $140, and we measured her up based on their measurements, got it. The only thing we had to do was take up the straps a little bit. So we tucked them in behind, and other than that, it was great. And the dress was a little bit longer on her because she's so short, and she liked it that way because she didn't want it. It was supposed to like be one of those really short ones that kind of like comes above the knees, and so she loved it that it was below her knee. And anyway, but yeah, she did. She looked beautiful. She had a great time. The snow did a little, she had to walk in heels in snow, so she did take tennis shoes to put on. But anyway, so she was very tired on Sunday. She didn't do much she did practice her cello for like 2 hours, but it was a very low low-key day for her on Sunday. So anyway, that was our big weekend. And then we got like 5 inches of snow here in Mount Pleasant on Saturday night into Sunday morning. And so we kind of had a pajama party, I would call it here, jokingly. But Natalie's friend Austin stayed over at our house. We have a spare room. And so he's like, I don't want to be stuck in a dorm. So we watched movies late and had fun. And he's just a really good young man. So excited that we've gotten to know him so well. Okay, so a few things I have in the way of announcements before we get started, or I should say class things and Stampin' Up! Things. So today, Stampin' Up! Announced that they have some additional things for celebration that you can pick. Now, they are items that are in either the annual catalog or that are in our mini catalog, or the January through June or January through April catalog. But I'm excited because there are things that I can definitely use since I've got a kind of an over surplus so far of all of the papers and things that they had out in the first release. So I will be posting that on my page and my group, the pictures of what's available. But there is some new things available for celebration, so that's exciting. And then this is another thing that's exciting. So in March, Stampin' Up! Is having an online exclusive promotion with some products that are specifically available online. They're not available in any of our catalogs. And one of the perks of being a demonstrator, so hint, hint, join my team and take advantage of being able to order this stuff early and get in that really pretty blue machine that I still have sitting out. Woohoo! Who doesn't want a blue machine, right? But anyway, as a demonstrator, we were able to pre-order some of the select products from that online exclusive today, which I did order today. And of course, I expressed shipped it today. So I'll have it in a couple days. So I will be playing with it. Those of you that are going to be coming to my Saturday event, I will have it there. And I'll be designing some classes or a class with it, course of Facebook Live with it, all that awesome stuff. It's a really pretty floral bundle, but the paper is gorgeous. And I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek. We kind of know that there's going to be a color refresh coming with the release of the new catalog. And in this paper, there's 2 colors that are returning. And I'm going to actually tell you what those colors are. I might get in trouble, but I'm going to tell you. The 2 colors that are returning, or 2 of the colors that are returning, are Pretty Peacock. So are there any Pretty Peacock fans out there? Woot, woot. I know I loved Pretty Peacock. And the other one that I really loved, and it's coming back, is, I think it's Lost Lagoon is what it's called. It was a really pretty, I think it was Lost Lagoon, really pretty blue. So those 2 colors are in this paper pack that I'll be playing with. It's also got Flirty Flamingo, but that color, look at all the love coming, I like it. Flirty Flamingo is current right now, but those 3 colors are 3 of the colors in the paper pack, and it is gorgeous. So I can't wait for you guys to see it, for me to be able to show you it. But yeah, so those are 2 colors that are returning in their color refresh, at least 2 of, I'm sure there's more, but there's your little sneak peek that I know of that I decided to share with all of you. So anyway, online exclusive, any of the customers, you can purchase it beginning March 1st. I'll definitely be sharing with you as we see what the product all is, and let you know about it as well. Let's see what else I have. So, let's do our sharing stuff. I know, weren't they, Courtney? Okay, so if you shared my video, you got in the drawing to receive prizes, okay? And last week I had Natalie grab 2 things out of my drawer because I forgot to get them out, and I was already live, remember that? And she just grabbed 2. So I went with whatever she grabbed. So one of the items that she grabbed, because this is so Natalie, was the loose daisy embellishments. She grabbed a package of those. And the winner of the loose daisy embellishments, and she's watching, is Courtney Ostendorp. So congratulations, Courtney. You are the winner of those. And then the winner of the Blushing Briders is Petal Pink ribbon is Joanne Boyle. So Joanne and Courtney. Noreen, no, not all of the colors are changing. So what Stampin' Up! Does every, I would say 5 to 7 years, they do what's called a color refresh. So all of our core colors always stay the same. We always have the subtles, the regals, the neutrals, and the brights. And then we have those in colors, 2 sets of in colors that rotate on a 2-year cycle. Okay. But every like 5 to 7 years, the company does a color refresh. So there will be maybe 2 to 3, 3 to 4, that's the part I don't know, colors that are going to be coming out of those collections, and some either new ones or old ones being replaced into them. So like Pretty Peacock might become part of the Regals collection, and something from the Regals might be coming out of that collection. Okay, so what the company usually does is what they usually do is they have like a sale on ink pads where you can buy all of the new color refresh ink pads in one bundle, or you can buy all of the color refresh markers in one bundle to kind of make it easier for us to kind of keep up with that color change. So that's what I mean by color refresh. And we don't know all of the details yet. The company, like I said, was hinting around that it might be happening, and I think that the paper confirmed that for me when I saw those 2 colors coming back, because they never ever bring in colors that were there previous back as an in color. They usually come back in and a refresh into those 4 core groups. Hoping I explained that good enough for you. Okay, good, Noreen. I just saw your message. So anyway, and the reason behind it, it's a good reason. I know it can be frustrating to have to update your inks and things, but the company tries really hard to stay on trend with all of the current colors that are out there. And I can't tell you how many times I see them bring in colors, or I see a color refresh happen, and then I turn around and see those colors in stores, in clothing, or in different things that you can, I mean, they are on trend with their colors. And that is the one thing I love about the company, is that they are very on trend with the colors, with the industry standards of what's out there. And I think that there are a few colors that I know I don't use as much that I'm excited to have a few new ones brought in addition to our new 5. So anyway, so that is what is going to be happening. Oh, good, Courtney. Well, now you have them. Yes. All right. So up for grabs this next week, we'll draw the winner. Again, all you have to do is share my video, let people know about me, and share me with your friends. Usually I'm live. Any of you that might be new, usually I'm live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once in a while, most of you know I work a full-time job. I have kids, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, all those wonderful things. So sometimes things come up on a Thursday night that I have to reschedule, and then I usually go live on Wednesday. Very rarely do I actually cancel a Facebook Live. I do take the week off between the holidays, but very rarely am I not live with you guys every single week. And once in a blue moon, you'll get a pre-recorded video, but you do get something from me every week in regards to inspiration, okay? All right, up for grabs is Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and then we have a bolt of the Tahitian Tide Ribbon. Okay, so again, just share my video. Make sure you comment that you shared. I don't always see the sharing depending on your Facebook settings or your privacy settings. Comment on my video that you have shared on the right here, and I will see it, and you'll get into the drawing to potentially win those 2 prizes. Okay. So, what else do I have to share with you? I talked to you about the online exclusives. I talked to you about the joining promotion. You only have 1 more month. It's a great deal, you guys. You get $175 of product for $99. Like, that's a great deal. Or you can get the add the little machine on. I showed you guys this awesome little blue machine, a little mini machine. Or you can add the white one on. I just like the blue one because it's so cute and it's so pretty. And I'm not a blue person, and I even like the color of this one. But then you would add this on for an additional $30, and then it's $129 for $175 in product plus this. Okay, February classes are opened up. If you have not yet subscribed to my email newsletter, please do. They will be coming out for registration for you to sign up for them beginning on Friday. And those classes, aren't you guys proud of me? Like, I got my challenge out, or my card sketch out today on February 1st. My classes are ready to go before February 1st. We have one of the classes that I am going to be showcasing tonight is actually a class that you can purchase. We have a class on the farm, and I can't think of the third one off the top of my head, but I got 3 awesome classes that are opening up on Friday. and my Basement Bunch monthly club, the BB monthly club. So I want to just thank all of you that have signed up so far. I know you're patiently waiting for your first kit. I did give myself a 6-week leeway there to be able to make sure I had time to market that. So the cost of how my monthly kit class is going to be working is it's $38.50 a month, and you get 8 cards, 4 designs, 2 of each, $20 of product, envelopes, a cute little handmade gift that I'm making for you each month, and your kit will ship to you by the 28th of the month. And once you subscribe to it, the PayPal button that you use to subscribe, it is a monthly reoccurring fee. So you can always go in there and edit it and skip a month, or skip 2 months, or anything that you want to do with that. But once you complete, the whole thing is for you to try to stick with me for at least 6 months, because once you complete 6 months of my monthly club, you then get a $25 goodie bag of product in the mail from me. So prior to the 10th of the month, you will all be getting an email from me. I'm hoping to get it out this weekend, asking if you want the stamp set added into your class. If you do, then I will bill you for that separately through PayPal. This month it is the Friendly Gnome stamp set. And I can tell you next month is the Rain and Shine bundle. And then that way I have time to order all the stamp sets and the product, and then it will ship to you by the 28th of the month. This month's kit will probably go out a little bit sooner just because I have the stuff ready. And I know some of you who signed up right at the very beginning have been patiently waiting. So I wanted to say thank you. Once we get rolling, it'll be every month and you won't have to wait quite as long, okay? So anyway, it's a new offering that I just started. This is my first month after the first of the year, and I'm really excited about this one. I think it's a good opportunity for all of you to be able to get I kind of call it my own version of a paper pumpkin kit. I do all the designing, cutting, prepping, packaging, and then you have the fun of putting it together. So the only thing you would need to provide would be the stamp set, and if you don't have the stamp set, you can always use a stamp set from your own stash. And then your own inks. And I will tell you that I limit my inks to only like 1 or 2 inks per class. And I think actually the gnome, I just used Memento Black on it. I don't think I used any other colors of ink. But you can always substitute with whatever color of ink that you have. And the other awesome thing is once your kit ships, your tutorial will be emailed to you right away. That is something new that I'm striving for after the first of the year. So any of you that bought my other classes that I offer, so I also offer monthly classes that are not part of the club, okay? So some of you may have bought my Country Floral class or my Adorable Owls class, and those tutorials went out right away. So that is my new thing, is to have those tutorials done and ready. If you're looking for just tutorials, they are also out on my website. I do have, again, my website's a work in progress, but there is a spot that says tutorial store, and right there is where you would click to be able to buy my tutorials. If you only want a tutorial, they're $15. As soon as you check out, it does give you a downloadable link that you'll click, and there's your tutorial for you to save to your computer. So I'm stepping up and branching out in the world a little bit, you guys. All right, so with that, let me transition my camera down to my stamp area, and let's work on some projects. I'm going to be showcasing the Dainty Delight bundle. The Dainty Delight bundle was one of my favorites when I first saw it in the catalog. So it is this awesome bundle. Now I can tell you that the dies are not available right now, and I didn't know that until just today when I went and looked at the inventory status report, but they are coming back. Okay, they will be back. This bundle, let me look at my catalog here, together is $54.75. So that is the cost of this bundle. But it also coordinates, what I love about it is that it coordinates with whoops, I almost knocked my computer over. It coordinates with one of the designer series papers that you can get during celebration, the Dainty Flowers. So you're going to see me pairing these two together a lot tonight. I also have a cute little 3D project that I made for you using our Dainty treat bags that are in the annual catalog. So with that, let's transition my camera down and let's do some fun stamping. Okay. So you're going to get your little sneak peek here like you normally do. Oh, I need to move my thing closer. Sorry guys, bear with me here. Needed to move my little stand closer so that you guys can see this awesomeness. Right, and I need to make sure that I'm straight because you guys all know that's a pet peeve of mine. So bear with me here. Okay, so there's your little sneak peek. What you guys think? You like it? Pretty stuff. I love it. Okay, So I'm going to move it all out of the way for right now, and I'm going to actually focus in on this cute little bag box, okay? So this cute little bag box here is it comes already kind of like all put together. Not really, but I mean, like, it's already all the design work is done. So these are in our annual catalog, okay? And I think you get 8 of them for $10, or maybe it's 10 of them for $8, one or the other. I had it memorized when I did this and made it, and now I forget. But these are so pretty because you can see the design here is already done. It already has the tape on it here for you to be able to put it together, and look how pretty. So let me show you how this goes together. So you're just going to fold in on all of these lines, and they're already scored for you, so you don't even have to score anything. I mean, this is so cute. And I actually used these bags to make, or these little box bags to make one of my little, so I give out little 3D projects at Claire's, at all of my events. And I use these to make up one of my little gifties, because I always like to showcase the Stampin' Up stuff, because so many times I think we forget about looking at what we already have made up. We kind of always think, oh, what can I make up using, you know, cutting and scoring and boxes. And sometimes I think we overlook what is right in front of us through our own catalog. So, oops, I didn't fold this one. Okay, so I'm folding it all up, and then literally this just sticks on here like that. And then this one is going to stick on here like this. Can you tell I made a few of these? And then these are going to stick up on here like this. Quick and simple. And this one needs to come over a little bit. There we go. And then you can always, if you want to, take like a marker or something and press down these seals really good, or these ends really good. And then these little holes just punch out for you to put your ribbon through, okay? And voila, these go down. And then you have a cute little box. Look at that. Have you guys seen these before? Like, they're so quick and simple and fun. So from there, I just simply decorated it. I added a little 3x3 piece of paper, and I like either the 3x3 or the 4x4s because it just adds a little bit of design, and it's divisible by 12, so you don't have any waste. Isn't it a pretty box? Yes. So Marcia, I know you're coming this weekend. You're going to be getting a box. It's not decorated like this, but you're going to be getting a box with a little treat in it like this. And then this is the stamped image from the Dainty Delight right here. Oh, good, Shireen. That's awesome. They'll give you some ideas. So this one right here, I just stamped using the Blackberry Bliss ink, and then I cut it out with the coordinating die. So there's dies that go with this, and I didn't actually show you guys all of the dies, but all of the dies cut out all these different shapes. Okay, so that's kind of the cool thing. And then I colored this with Fresh Freesia, with one of the Fresh Freesia blends. Oh, I also used green. I didn't bring green, but that's okay. I can color the green later. So I'm just going to color this in with my Fresh Freesia. I'm used to having my Natalie down here with me because Claire is doing her cello stuff on Thursdays, but Natalie has dance tonight, so I am solo tonight. And I am so used to having her down here that I'm like, oh yeah, that marker's just not going to appear. But I don't need it. You guys can see there how I colored the green, right? Oh, it might, Courtney. So Courtney just said, would it show if I put DSP on the inside? I bet it would. I bet it definitely would. I don't have a piece of DSP here that I can, well, just a second. Oh, I didn't show you guys the designer series paper. So let me just bring one out and just kind of see, because I can put it on the front. So I will show you guys the designer series paper. I got so excited to start doing my projects that, but yes, it would. So there you can see that green shows up very, very nice through there. So yep, you could also do it on the inside if you wanted to. I did it on the outside in this case because I wanted this flower to show up kind of nice. but doesn't that flower just kind of coordinate with that bag so awesomely well? And then all I did was adhere this on with some dimensionals at an angle after you color the green. And then I used the fresh freesia ribbon to tie it shut. So you wouldn't want to tie it shut until after you put your goodies in it. Now what I did on this one is I actually, so you have the flaps here, I actually glued those flaps right down because I didn't feel I needed them. You could also cut them off if you wanted to, but I just glued them right down on the inside so that they were kind of flush, and then was able to put this box together. So cute. Okay, so before we get into the cards, so if you haven't gotten these boxes yet, oh my gosh, you have to. They're so cute. And people are going to think you made them and all you did was you saw how quick and easy that was to put together. So let me show you the paper here that you can get for free. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. So let me pull out one of each of these real quick. Yes, Noreen, they do. So some of the dies do fit some of these to be able to cut them out. Isn't that also awesome? I think only a couple of them might though, but I think they do. I do think they do. I didn't do that with any of my cards, just because I always design 5 cards when I do my classes, and these went together so quickly and easily that I was like, oh, I'm done already. So sometimes that happens, and then there's other times I have to work for it. So this one was easy peasy, very easy. Okay, so these are the designs of the designer series paper. Very, very pretty paper. And what I like about this one right here is that you can cut this apart and use it as elements on your card. So that, and you're going to see where I actually did just that. And then you also have this one right here that you can cut apart and have that be on your card as well. I mean, all the work is done for you on those when you have that awesome paper like that. Then on the opposite side, you have more of your solid colors. So here's where you have your, and the colors in here, I like to always tell you guys the colors. Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Rich Razzleberry, and Starry Sky. So here's where you have, I even like that one, it's so pretty. So this is where you have a lot of your solids that you can then incorporate in. Which you're going to see how I did just that. And I like a couple of those with the blotches and the splatters. So awesome. Okay. So that is a free item that you can get during celebration with a $50 purchase. So let me see my first card here. Let me bring this one in right here. So we're going to start with this one right here. And this is where I use some of that splattered cardstock. Or splattered designer series paper. And the neat thing is each one that I make with this is going to look a little bit different depending on which piece of paper I have, because it's got splatters on it all sporadically. Okay, so for this card I chose to use Mossy Meadow for my card base. So let me fold this in half. This is your 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm just going to fold this in half right here. And then I have a 5, so I wanted a little bit more of my border to show. So instead of 5.25 by 4, I did it 5 by 3 3/4. And then this piece is 4 3. Let me see, 4 3/4 by 3.5. Okay, and so that's just going to all get adhered together here with some of my seal. Now, if you really liked the other side, you could use it, but I wanted this to show up. Again, you can see I used the exact same stamped image that I did on my very first project. And so the embellishments and ribbon that I chose to use for my projects tonight, other than the first one, which I used the Fresh Freesia ribbon to pull in the colors of this. For everything else tonight, I'm going to be using the linen thread, and I paired it with the brushed brass butterflies. Say that really fast. Yeah, I'm glad I slowed down when I said that. Okay, so for this one, again, I have this exact same one, and I'm going to do the same thing and color it with the Fresh Freesia, and I can color it back in with my, this one I picked the Highland Heather. I think I grabbed Highland Heather and went, oh no, I need Fresh Freesia, and then I put them both on my table. But this is the neat thing, no one's going to know the difference. So I always tell everyone, even if you don't have the color that's in the paper or the color that's in the coordinating stuff, when it comes to your blends, no one's going to know that you used a little bit of a different color. They really aren't. And I kind of like it. It makes it pop, I think, just a little bit more. doesn't it? I think so. Hello, Jean, and welcome. So let's see here. And again, if I had my old olive, I'd color that, but we're going to pretend that, oh, I didn't color that one. I wonder why. Huh, I must have been in a hurry. Okay, so then we're going to adhere this down with some dimensionals here. And again, those of you joining a little bit late, I am live with you tonight so that I can go with my daughter to a play on the campus where I work tomorrow. And so I appreciate your understanding on that. Most of you know I don't like doing that, but she asked if I would go with her, and I need to do those things. So anyway, there are some sentiments in the Dainty Delight bundle that I used. So I used the Sending Love During the Season of Growth is what I used on it. And I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals to that. And then put that onto my card at the front top. Isn't it kind of neat how, oh good, Gail, you're here, yay. And I'm actually live a night early this time. Okay, so I'm just gonna adhere this down up here at the top. And then I paired those butterflies. Yes, Karen, don't those butterflies look nice? So these are the brushed brass butterflies. And I know I've given these away on a Facebook Live before. Oh, my Take My Pick tool's not here. So that's okay. I'm just going to pick them off here. And I'm just going to put some butterflies on here. And you have two different sizes. You have the little ones and then you have some bigger ones. So I'm just going to pick these off and I'm going to put maybe 3 of them on my card. But again, you could add more if you wanted to, but that just kind of, look at that, it just gives it a little bit of bedazzling. And then I added a double bow with the linen thread. I thought I just needed a little something down there, and I didn't want it to be anything too big. So I'm just gonna cut a piece of linen thread, and I just doubled it over, and then I'm gonna cut it. And linen thread, sometimes you have to kind of run your fingers across it to get it to lay a little bit flatter for you. And then I'm just going to tie a bow, or a double bow here at once. And then we're just going to pull these little tails a little bit. I'm going to trim this up. And this is going to get adhered on with a glue dot. I do too, Courtney. I love embellishments that lay nice and flat. I don't know about post offices where you live, but my post office, I'm going to tell you a funny. My post office is getting kind of finicky with my stuff because I think it was my customer Christmas cards came back to me. I put one stamp on them and they all came back to me. And I went into the post office to talk to her about it and said, look, like, I don't understand why. I think I had like a rhinestone on it. And she literally took the envelope and went, it's lumpy bumpy, anything lumpy bumpy. So anyway, be careful with that. And I say that's how she sounded. I was a little perturbed with her. But anyway, so be careful if you do some embellishments that are a little bit thicker and things like that, that will go through the mail. Take it in, ask them. I've learned my lesson. So I didn't put the extra postage on all the cards, but I was like, are you kidding me? Had I known that, I would not have used the rhinestones the way I did. All right, so the final thing that I did, now part of the dies, let me show you the dies because there's so many little pieces. Let me show you the dies with the catalog. Where did I put the catalog? Here it is. Because I don't want a chance losing any of the little dies, but I do want you guys to see them here. So I'm going to bring it up kind of close. Can you guys see all those little dies that you get down there? So you get lots of little pieces and things of the dies. And so what I did is I cut out some little flowers, forgot about those. And so these are down here on the bottom as well. And I did use dimensionals for them. So some of them are mini dimensionals would work really good, but I don't have any here, so I'm just going to use my big ones. And then the other thing you can also do is you can cut your dimensionals. Oh, well, I'm glad you're back. Yay. You can also cut your dimensionals in half, or you can cut the ends of them. I do that a lot to be able to make them fit. I'm a creature of habit. So for me, I find myself a lot of times just using the big dimensionals and then just cutting them in half, or using the ends of them, like around the outer edges. I'm almost stuck to my scissors. Oh, that's a good idea, Karen. Karen says her post office says to make sure the lumpy bumpy isn't on the top, more towards the bottom or middle, and then the machine may take them better. I like that advice. Woohoo, I'll have to look into that. All right. So anyway, so there you have it. My first card with the cute little like flower buds off to the side. All done. The dies are amazing. All right, so there's our first card. Sorry, you guys, it took a little bit longer than normal with that one. But a couple of these are going to go so fast, so I don't feel too bad. Now this one is where you truly let the paper do the work, right? You truly, truly let the paper do the work. Courtney also has a good tip. She cuts copy paper 5 1/4 or 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, so it's the size of the front of the card, and she covers her card when using bumpy embellishments. And I think I've gotten one of your cards in the mail that way, Courtney. So I should probably try that too. But for me, it's one more step, but I get it. Okay. So anyway, for this one right here, I'm letting the paper do the work. Remember I showed you guys the paper and showed you how you can just cut this as a panel and use it on your card. So that is what I did here on this one. And all I did was pick out some of the colors that I liked to be able to coordinate and put this together. So this is cut 5 by 3 3/4, and I put it on top of a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the Starry Sky. Okay, so here's the Starry Sky. And then I laid this whole thing onto a piece of my Blushing Bride cardstock for the card base. All right. So this is, oh, Shelby, my nails. These are, he called this a sea foam turquoise is what he called it. So I got my nails done last week, and it's so funny because he picks things that I don't think I'm going to like, and then I end up, it grows on me. So I told him, I said, yeah, I always do pink, and I haven't been doing pink for quite a while, so you need to pick something else out that isn't pink. And I walked out of there going, ew, I'm not sure I like it, but it's grown on me. It's actually grown on me, and they're all glittery. I'm not sure if you can see it, but they're all glittery. And the neat thing is when I move just right, it actually kind of reminds me of some of the foil that we used to have, because when I move just right, it changes to like a greeny to a blue. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Gail, you like this one? Yes, this paper is pretty cool. So then what I did is I added some of the linen thread behind here just to kind of fill in the circle. And so that is my typical, where I call it my figure 8. So I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm just going to take off, I'm leaving a bunch of this linen thread on the spool, but I'm kind of making it nice and flat. And then I'm just going to hang on to it here, and I'm going to wrap this around. Now you can either wrap it around, depending on how big you want your loops to be, you can do 3 fingers. I'm going to wrap it around all 4 of my fingers here, and I'm just going to wrap it around. You can see I'm hanging on to where I started, and I'm just going to wrap it around about 4 or 5 times, okay? And then I'm going to cut it off kind of in the same spot where I started, okay? And I'm going to actually attempt to cut with my wrong hand. All right, I did it, woohoo, because normally I wrap it around the other hand. Now, so I'm leaving it here right now. You can see it's just wrapped around there. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive right to the center, because that is where I'm going to be putting my sentiment, so it's going to cover it up, okay? So I'm just going to kind of hang on to it and pinch it where the two come together, and I'm just going to twist it and make a figure 8, and then I adhere it down, and I put where the two meet right in the middle of that big glob of adhesive. All right, it's okay, these are going to get cut a little bit shorter later. You can see I've cut mine down, okay? And then I have the word Celebrate You that I stamped in advance. This comes from the sentiment from the Dainty Delight stamp set. And I'm going to adhere that with dimensionals, and I'm going to put dimensionals on the 2 ends so it's over top this lumpy bumpy. That's going to be my new word for my Facebook Live tonight, lumpy bumpy, you guys. All right, so I'm just going to put 1 on each end here. And Celebrate You is going to go right across here in the middle. And you're going to want to make sure you put it kind of on top of that big glob of adhesive, okay? And then what you can do is you're going to take, so see how these are all spread apart? You're just going to take these and you're going to kind of spread them apart to make them not be so uniform. All I'm doing is spreading them apart. I'm not pulling, I'm just spreading them apart. And then if these are too long where you started, you can always cut them down a little bit and they will blend in a little bit more with your figure 8, okay? So there you have it, quick and simple, right? Yes, I love that. I'm glad you like the twine tip. Philomena. So yeah, that's how I did that. And it just adds a little bit of, fills up the space in the middle. And you don't have to really do too much. I mean, this card is so simple. Okay. All right. So that is card number 2. Thanks everyone. I'm glad you like it. Okay. Oh, I didn't add butterflies. We have to add our butterflies. All right. So I'm just going to add a big butterfly to this end over here. And then I'm going to add a couple of little ones to my top and my bottom over here. Okay. Ta-da. Butterflies for the win. Okay. So the next card is going to be this one right here. And again, quick, simple, easy. Yes, this paper, as Karen said, this paper is delicate and springy, and you don't need to pair it with much of anything to make some beautiful cards. I mean, you really don't. I mean, all I did was grab the cardstock colors that coordinate with it and went for it. So this one's another quick one. So this one I used the Starry Sky. I wanted to pull out the Starry Sky stripe that I put down the side of my card. So this is my 5.5 by 8.5. And then I used the crushed curry for 5.25 by 4, followed by the layer of the designer series paper that's 5 by 3 3/4. Okay. So I'm just going to adhere this together. Quick and simple is what I like. Adhere that together, and then this is going to get adhered down to my card base. Oops, like that. And this little strip right here, I just used to kind of tie it all in. This is just a 1-inch strip, 1 inch by. Now, I will tell you, if you're interested in the tutorial for this class, it is going to be available for purchase in the next, this one's not out there yet, so it will be in the next week. So all of my February classes are being typed up in the next couple of days. Okay, so this one will be out there, but any of my classes from the month of January, if you're interested in just a tutorial, they have already been posted out there for you. $15 for the download. Hi, Shar, and welcome. Nice to have you here. Oh, you're from Wisconsin. Yay. I am a demonstrator from Michigan. Your name looks new to me. So I am in the center of Michigan in a town called Mount Pleasant. And I have been a demonstrator, for those of you who might be newer to me, for 12 years. So I'm going on my 13th year, and I love it. I also work a full-time job, so this is what I call my fun job. But I love it. Love what I do. And people always say, oh, you're so crafty. And I come back with it and say, only with paper. I can't paint, I can't draw, can't do anything else. I'm only creative with paper. I'm a one crafter and done. That's it. That is it. All right. So then I have the best is yet to come that I just did on a little square here. And yes, they are, Shireen, very simple, because these cards, you don't need a lot because this paper is so beautiful. And that's, I think, why it's become so popular, because sometimes you just want to make a quick card. This paper is perfect for just that, quick cards. All right, so here's my linen thread again, and I'm just going to make a single bow with it. So here is my bow. You just got to kind of play with it sometimes, because of it being on the spool, it can get a little finicky, but it will eventually cooperate with you, right? And then I'm just going to cut that off, and then I adhered this on with a glue dot. So let me find my glue dots here. That's funny. Yeah, see, it's the funny thing when it comes to crafts. Either you're good at something, and when you're good at something, you're usually not good at other things. So now my daughter, Natalie, my oldest, who is 18, she is a crafty person with many different things. Me, I'm not so much. Just paper. All right, so then again, using our brushed butterflies, I'm going to add a couple to my card. I'm going to add one there, and I'm going to add one up here. I'm just going to add the 2 on that one. And there you have it. Quick and simple and easy. The ink color on this card that I used is the Starry Sky. Quick, simple card. Okay, and then of course you can always decorate the inside. You know, I would normally add a white to the inside so you can handwrite your message on it. But you can also decorate the inside and put a strip of paper on it too if you'd like to. So lots of different options for you to be able to do there. Okay. This next card, quick, simple, easy as well. My last one's going to take a little bit longer, but Yes, Judy, this paper is just amazingly gorgeous. Okay, so this one, remember that piece that I showed you? That, I'm going to actually pull it in and show you again. So this is the piece where I mentioned you could cut it off in the middle and then have it as panels. And of course, now it's not going to let me find it. Here we go. So it is this one right here, okay? So this is the one right here where you can just cut this off and use these as panels, okay? Which is what I did on this card right here. And then using one of our blending brushes, I literally sponged, this idea I got right from the Stampin' Up! Catalog. I sponged the bottom of this using old olive ink. So that's why I have it on an old olive card base to kind of pair that in. Oh, thank you, Philomena. Peggy, it's okay. I'm glad that you're here. I hate changing it on you guys, but I had to tonight because I have a commitment for tomorrow. So, and usually I let you guys know like the week before, and I didn't this time because it kind of came up in the last couple, you know, I would say it came up on Monday that I was needing to go with my daughter to this play. So I apologize, but I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here now. All right. So this is my card base, which is the old olive, and 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the Rachel Razzleberry, and then I have the 5 by 3 3/4 of the paper. So again, using the blending brush, you just brush on there and make it look like it's more green for the grass, right? So pretty. Again, simple, simple, simple. I did not do a lot of dye work with these because I didn't think it needed it. So if you're on the fence about even wanting to get the stamp set and the dies, I mean, you can see 3 of these cards. I literally just used sentiments from the stamp set. You could, you know, I always look at the cost effectiveness of product. So if you're really thinking that you just love the paper, get the paper, order other things, order the cardstock, order the embellishments or the ribbon, and then you can just put together these really simple cards, but they're so, so pretty and so awesome. Okay, so that is just going to go down on my card. And then I did add the best is yet to come on a piece of fresh freesia because I just thought it needed a little bit of color up there. I love this paper too. It's so, so pretty. It's okay, Peggy. You can always go back. That's the neat thing with this. You can always go back and watch the beginning on replay. So, because there are some pretty cool announcements that I talked about the upcoming color refresh that we know about. And so I will mention this because I know Peggy asked this question later or earlier this week or last week. I always do an in color club where you can get your new in colors over the course of like 5 or 6 months. And she asked if I was going to be doing that again when the new catalog comes out. Absolutely, I will. And I will also be having some kind of a color refresh club. So you'll be able, if you're on a, you know, before I became a demonstrator, that is how I got all of the new colors. I was part of, I always did product shares. I always did clubs because I couldn't always afford everything all at once. And, well, I still can't. Who am I kidding? But anyway, so for me to be able to get all of the new in colors or all of the new things, I would do it on a budget where they charge you a set amount like I would charge, I think my in color club was $50, but each month, but you got all the stuff. You got the ink pad of a certain color, you got the ink refill, you got blends, you got an embellishment. I mean, you got everything, right? And so, but it's a neat way for you to be able to do that on a budget. And I'm going to plan on doing that with the color refresh as well. So once I know more information, I will be putting that out there for registration. I like to do it in groups of, usually for the in color one, I need to do it in groups of 5 because there's 5 in colors. But anyway, just so you guys know, and I charge literally the price of the product, and then I include the shipping to ship it to you. And then each month you also get a free embellishment or something from me. So it's kind of a good deal because I always sweeten the deal and give you a little bit of extra. All right, I'm making a double bow. Oh, I agree, Shar. I think they do that purposely though, so that way they put some sense of urgency that you have to get it for free with an order. But I agree. I love it. I love it. And I love these papers that are really simple. That's the other thing. I like the simplicity of making, you know, because these cards are so simple that anybody who makes them, they're going to be beautiful. I mean, sometimes people, I think we're our own worst critics sometimes when it comes to to cards. And we like to think that you don't have to do all kinds of fancy things, right? You just need to do a few little things and you have beautiful cards with paper that is just gorgeous. So all I did while I was talking there was make a bow. Again, I did the double bow. And then this I just stuck underneath here a little bit on the end. So I'm just going to stick it underneath there a little bit. But that's just a bow that I put underneath there. Okay, so it isn't any of the back and forth thing. It's just a bow. And there you have that card. Again, it's going to all look a little bit different depending on the piece of paper that you have cut. Okay, because again, this paper spans this right here. So you can see that this one right here is this piece right here. And then this one right here is the second piece. It's the piece right here. Okay, so you'll get 6 of them out of one piece of this paper. Does that make sense? Okay, so cool. Okay, so my last card that I'm going to share with you is I did indeed do some stamping and a little bit of die cutting. So for this one, I used fresh freesia for the card base. Okay. So fresh freesia card base, and then I used a layer of the 5 1/4 by 4 of the rich razzleberry, and then I have 2 pieces of the paper. So I used one that is this one's gorgeous. It is 3 1/2 by 2 1/2, and then I used a solid one down here for the bottom. This again, we call this a Kim Classic. I use this layout a ton because it's so simple, and every time I do it, the cards look different. Like seriously, they do. And I know that you guys are probably saying, my gosh, she does that a lot, but don't you guys agree? The cards look different every single time I do this. And that's just the versatility of the Stampin' Up! Products. I mean, like literally. I could make this and cut this card in my sleep, I think. Oh, I'm happy to report that Carl Jr. is doing well. And he is working wonderfully. Oh, I put that on backwards, upside down. I'm not going to like that, so I have to change it. That'll drive me crazy. Sorry. That's what I get for talking and not paying attention, right? Okay, but my Carl Jr., so my Carl Cutter, most of you know my Carl Cutter died a couple weeks ago. And I had Carl Jr. in no time. He came like literally like 2 days later. And he is working phenomenally well. I have not parted ways yet with Carl, with the original Carl, because I just don't know if I can. I like original Carl. We're debating on whether or not we should hang him up on the wall here in the basement, but I don't know how I would do that. My basement is concrete poured walls, so it would make it kind of hard to hang up something that heavy, I think. But anyway, he's still just sitting next to the trash can, and hasn't been disposed of yet because we just can't do it. All right, then I have a layer here of this is 2 by 2. I mean, this might be 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then I have a piece of basic white that is 1/4. This is the 2 by 2. And what I did is I stamped on here. So I stamped 2 of the flowers. I stamped this one right here using rich raspberry ink. Actually, I think I used Blackberry Bliss. And then I stamped this one right here using fresh freesia. Okay. And then all I did was adhere those 2 together. Exactly, Marcia, you got it. But it was a sad day. That Carl Cutter that I had, the original one, he was with us for a very, very long time, probably 10 years, 11 years maybe, because I got him about a year after I started doing classes. Otherwise, I was just using the little trimmer that Stampin' Up! Had. And someone online had suggested this Carl Cutter, and I'm like, that's it. That's what we're going to get. And he served us very well. So what happened is the plastic area that holds the blade is what shattered. So he can't be fixed. I could probably have someone try to 3D print a part, but that'd require a lot of work. So, all right. The last thing I did, and I think I may have dropped mine, or it's somewhere where I can't find it, but I die cut out this little green piece right here. Okay. So we're just going to imagine that here on my card, right? And then I tied a bow using the linen thread. Added my thank you for your kindness at the bottom, and that is just on a 3/4 inch strip of basic white cardstock, and that is on with some dimensionals. So I'm just going to put one there, and this one I have cut off. See, I use my edges. You got to use your edges. So Karen, the advantages for having a Carl cutter, for me anyway, you can cut about 6 to 8 pieces. You could probably cut more, but comfortably, I do 6 to 8 pieces of cardstock all at once, and it locks the handle down in place so it doesn't move on you and shift. So for me, for cutting, for the number of classes that I do, like I'm usually cutting sometimes upwards of 50 of one card, if not more of one card for my classes and stuff. It just makes my cutting go a little bit bigger or a little bit faster. I should say Jen's cutting. Most of you know that Jen does almost all of my cutting for my classes. So she was even more devastated when Carl died than I was. I mean, I was devastated, but she probably cuts, gosh, 95% of all of my stuff. Once in a blue moon, I might surprise her and have something cut if it's something that I'm designing myself or things like that, but you're welcome. All right, adding my little brass butterflies there. We're going to pretend that the green thing is there, the green leaf or the green foliage, for lack of a better word there. Add your little bow and voila. So those are the cards that I created for you tonight. Woo! It's 8 o'clock on the dot. All right. Now I did have sitting here, and I think I may have taken it off to the other side. I do have my host code that I meant to share with you all, and it's not here right now. But anyway, if you go to my website, kimsbasementbunch.com, my host code is listed there. I always offer 3 of my cards for free with a $30 order that you can place online, kimsbasementbunch.com. I will also have the link in the description of my video shortly after my live has ended, and you'll receive 3 of these in the mail. Now, if you really like the class, this is one of the classes that opens for registration this coming Friday. If you have not yet subscribed to my email list, that link will also be in the description of my Facebook Live. I also have a link right on my website for you to join my mailing list. That is the best place to go to get in the know of all things Kim Vogel and the Basement Bunch Stampers. And my little box. This is also my little box. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys again for joining me a night early on a Wednesday instead of a Thursday. I'm going to be off the rest of my week because I'm going to think that tonight is Thursday now. But I do have now I have some more time that I can spend getting everything ready for my event this weekend. And I know I'm seeing a few of you. You are welcome, Shar. Thank you for joining me. I hope you join me again next week. Next week we resume to my normal Thursday night. And I think I'm going to be showcasing On the Farm, I think that's either On the Farm or there's another. I have 2 of them ready to go. I need to just figure out which one I'm going to do next week. I always post it for you guys so that you will see it in advance and have a little sneak peek. All right. Thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. Have a great rest of your week. See some of you this weekend, and I'll be back with you live next week. Bye, everyone.